Welcome today to class. We're going to align and balance and just bring wellness into the body and into our cells. Of course, that very important component of the body, and get everything flowing. So we'll begin in a seat, and you can take that seat on a chair or on a cushion or a blanket. And if you need anything close by to help you balance, feel free to use that as well. We'll be practicing with our half moon pose, which will take a little bit of that focus balance. All right, let's take those sits bones at the base of our spine, either side of the tailbone, and find that anchor on your cushion, the edge of the cushion, which allows for that spilling of the pelvis forward, so we can feel that curve in the low back. Just align there, find the center. So feel free to rock from side to side, so either sits bone, just feeling that right to left. And then let's align into the center. Just exhale and feel the space between those sits bones. Yes, and that should be the center, the base of the pelvis, drawing that energy on up into the spine communicating with the rest of the body to just feel that wellness coursing through it. And then we feel the hands on the thighs, just a sense of grounding, coming into this familiar shape, seated with the shoulders above the hips. And we have a nice rectangle of the torso, supported by our strong structure, the skeletal structure. Feel free to inhale, exhale, and close the eyes as you exhale, just cutting out the distractions around you. And come inside to take a little tour of the body, the physical body. First, noticing places of comfort and places of tension. And notice whether maybe those tenser places are on the right or the left. Maybe there's some kind of relationship there on the right, left. And as you notice your breath, what the quality of the breath is, maybe it travels more to one side than the other. And see if you can bring that breath maybe into some balancing into the center. So feel that inhale travel through the nostrils, visiting the third eye, and then just filling up the torso with balance, and then exhaling, drawing it into the line as if it were a light in front of your spine, just drawing you up towards the crown of the head. We can grab that energy from the earth, bringing it up through the body. And then as you inhale again, maybe notice that lengthened exhale affects your inhale. The in-breath and the out-breath, influence and balance. So speaking of balance, let's take a 5-count inhale. Then a 5-count exhale, noticing again as you exhale that center line. Maybe you feel yourself growing a little taller as it reaches that energy up towards the sky. And another aligning, balancing 5-count breath. And keep the eyes closed, but allow the hands to find each other, the palms to find each other. The hands just rub together and warm, created by friction between the hands, rubbing them quickly together. And just again, kind of keeping that third eye awareness of the body. And then bring the hands up, keep the eyes closed, bring them up towards the face. And then as you stop rubbing them, bring the palms to the eye sockets. Just keeping the eyes closed, place your hands over the eyes. And the fingertips just at that scalp area, feeling the warmth of your hands flowing through the body. And then feel free to take those fingertips to the top of the head, so the crown, and just give a little finger pressure there, massage around the skull. And you can flutter those eyes open And you can take the thumbs to the base of the skull. Just notice that lovely connection point there that resonates through the head as you press circles outwardly. That juncture between the neck and the skull. And then come inward with your circles. Again, noticing the balance of the breath between the right and the left. And then 1 5 count inhale, we'll rise the arms up towards the sky. Notice the side bodies reach as well. So we reach with our entire body, reaching the shoulders up towards the ears. And then as you exhale into that center, we're going to draw those shoulders away from the ears, creating that shape between the shoulders and the hips. Reach on up. And then take ourselves into prayer, length of thumbs, feeling that energy. So we'll be doing some archer work. We're kind of just setting our intentions strongly and setting those strong forward direction of our intentions up towards the sky and then over to the right and the left. Continuing that balancing 5 inhale count and the 5 exhale count. Notice that light up the spine. It's now kind of curving, right, towards the crown of the head, but still nice and bright and strong. Lovely. Let's come on back and find that center line again above the head, and then allow the thumbs, hitchhiker thumbs, to come out to T arms. As we draw the shoulders away from our midline, inhale, and as we exhale, draw them in towards the center so the shoulder blades come together a little bit. Then we keep our gaze forward, so we're finding that neutral gaze, neutral chin, and we're going to look with our eyes over towards the right, towards that right thumb. And continue that path of breath as we look over to the left, holding that gaze for a moment to the left thumb, and then over to the right. And then over to the left. Yes. And then we'll take our hands out to that strong fingertips pointing outward. And we're going to gaze over our right hand. So look in the distance, keeping that neutral, steady gaze. Behind us, we're going to press behind the head. We're going to press that left hand against an imaginary wall. Inhale and exhale and draw that left hand back towards the back of your room, along the wall, and then bringing it forward. Back to T arms, gaze comes through center. We inhale and we exhale and turn on that axis over to the left hand. Just imagining something lovely in the distance that you want to materialize. Take that right hand against that wall. Feel the buzz. Slide it against that imaginary wall. Clearing some channels between the fingers, along the arms to the neck, and then slide that hand forward. And then look forward, allow the hands to drift down to the floor. We'll just take a few wingspan flight here as we touch down the fingers and then up towards the sky. Graceful wingspan, following our breath. And let's take other wings, butterfly wings, as we bend the elbows and bring clasped hands to the back of the skull. And here we'll open up the chest by bringing our heart eyes up towards the sky first, and then our actual eyes upward, chin up. And then exhale, close the butterfly wings back into the elbows closing towards each other. Notice the shoulder blades opening there. Inhale and exhale. Find a little bit more space each time you take that breath, holding the back of the skull, like really cradle the back of the skull so you can have a nice graceful arch in the neck without straining. Take a pause with my little puppy here. Yes, you want a little massage too, huh? Just continue that butterfly wing pace and then hold the Hands hold the back of the skull. Find that place, the mound of your thumb, and put that at the base of your skull, allowing the elbows just out to the side, and give a gentle lift to your skull. So we're just doing a tiny little bit of millimeter of traction here. Inhaling and exhaling, lifting up towards the sky. Turn the head slightly to the right and the left, just feeling that support of your own hands. Excellent. Reach the arms up again. As we come into a dynamic twist here, we're going to turn the sternum towards the right knee or the right side. Allow the hands to gracefully come down, fingertips find the floor, find the roots. Inhale along that center line. As you exhale, look over your right shoulder and find this path through the center. Inhale up to the sky as you turn the sternum right on over to the left. Fingertips come down. When you find that alignment through that strong exhale, we're going to take our look over the left and then do another one on the pace of your own breath. Keep that mind's eye awareness as you turn to the right and the left. Again, noticing the difference between the sides. Maybe notice a little more twist on either side, and then come up through the center. Beautiful. Bring the fingertips down to the floor, thumbs forward, fingertips back. And we'll take our right ear toward right shoulder, pressing through the left fingertips. And notice that length you're creating, influencing the flow of the muscles and the bones, the cells. Take the right hand, help that head up on the side there, and take it to the left. We're pressing through the right fingertips. Feel that length along our wingspan. Inhale that ear up towards the sky and the opposite one down. And then take left hand, help that head up. Take the arms behind you, clasp the fingers at the base of the spine. First, just rest them at the base of the spine. Inhale into that heart space. Shoulder blades come together. Exhale, reach the hands either down or back diagonally. Inhale and exhale. See if you can take those low ribs and send them back towards the back body. So we engage and fortify that triangle, not triangle, fortify that rectangle of the shoulders to the hips. Inhale the arms out to a hug, pre-hug position, and then we're going to bring those hands forward, fingertips on the floor. So you can feel free to switch the cross of your legs here. We're just going to take a nice hinge forward from the hip points. This doesn't have to be very far forward. Just walk your spider hands out, pulling back towards the body. Notice as you pull back towards the body, you create that traction and lengthening in the spine, lengthening the back of the neck. Settle in through the hips. Just stay still in this forward position. And then come on back up. If you're in cross-legged, we can switch the cross again and come back to that tall spine and walk those spider hands forward. Tuck the chin in slightly so you accentuate that feeling of the lengthening of the back of the neck muscles. And then walk back in, take the fingertips beside you. We're going to take one look up to the sky again. Loosen the jaw, bring in that expansive energy through your eyes, and then bring the chin to the collarbones in between them, marking that space. We have that beautiful breath space, the lungs, the heart, supporting it with our strength. And then bring the gaze to neutral. Roll the shoulders behind you. Roll the shoulders forward. And then before we switch, we're just going to take 3 breaths here, closing those lovely eyes, giving them a little rest as we take 3 even breaths. Taking another gaze inward to the right and the left side. Drawing in through your exhale to the center. Yes, and then the eyes open, and we'll switch to our tabletop sequence. You could have a block nearby. And take your blanket, cushion those shins underneath you. Go adjust here. Actually, I'm going to face the other way for fun. Switch it up. And our kneecaps are just going to roll at the edge of the blanket so we don't take that pressure in the knees. But let's take our breath work here in our horizontal so we really can feel the length of our spine and feel how the breath muscles can support the stability of the torso. So find your comfortable space here. If you have fists, take the fingers towards each other and put those on the floor if you want to protect the wrists. Here you go. So from here, let's find our shape. Draw the shoulders away from the ears first of all, just drawing them towards the ribs. Squeeze in, notice the larger muscles. Now traveling down the spine, our mind's eye goes to the back of our solar plexus, the base of our rib cage. Lift up slightly there so you feel that mama cat to the kitten pull up there. And so you feel a little bit more of that transverse abdominis engaging. And then when we inhale next, let's go to the base of our pelvis. And then grab a light as if it were at the base of the pelvis and draw it up as you exhale with your muscles towards the crown of the head. Just light up the spine. Engage towards there as if it's kind of a sideways elevator going up. Exhale again, up the spine. And notice as you do this, what's tensing up. So try to keep that center line fortified and everything else steady. Great. So now we've established our nice neutral spine. Let's take that balance and take the left arm next to left ear. And then bring that hand down. Inhale again. Squeeze in with the exhale to the center. And take the right arm next to right ear. And then down. Inhale again. As we exhale, we're going to take that right leg back. So curl the toes under. Keeping the hips nice and neutral here, that shape of our torso nice and steady. Just rock back and forth. So we stretch that right foot. And feel the hamstrings waking up. And then coming back to our tabletop, keeping that right leg back. We're keeping the hips neutral here. Inhale, exhale, grab that light again. And then lift the right leg off the floor. Great. And then bring it down. Draw that knee inward. Inhale, exhale. Feel your strength. And then take the left leg back straight. Curl the toes under. And we're rocking back and forth. So taking our time with the breath, kind of that tour of our movements, bringing the breath along on the tour to support our movement. And then taking that inhale again, making sure that spine is aligned. You've got that lift and shoulders drawn down. Exhale and lift the left leg off the floor. And then down, draw that left knee in. Let's try the other side with the left arm, right leg. Exhale, and lift. Nice. And come on down, support yourself with that nice shape of our torso. Inhale, exhale, left leg, right arm. And then down, other side. Can you continue this pattern of breath where the exhale is supporting the lift and the inhale just prepares you and oxygenates the muscles first before you lift? Other side again, one more tour here through the right and the left. Nice ab work here, deep ab work. Great. Now we're going to take that into a knee plank. So bring those knees back and come forward with the hips, curling the toes under and just feeling those, again, the shoulders draw away from the ears as we exhale, lengthening through the back of the neck, and making that strong line along the spine, pointing the tailbone towards the heels. Great. And then let's take that back to a child's pose or a puppy pose. Either taking the arms out long and the thighs 90 degrees to the floor, or the hips towards the heels with your head down on the mat. Feel free to take that forehead side to side, kind of easing through the neck, feeling that fluidity created that when we roll like that through the neck and the spine, recreating a resonance. Great. And then we're going to curl up into cat and find the tabletop, and then into cow. Exhale. Loosen the jaw as you exhale. Now find that strong midline again. We're going to take the left elbow out to the side and the left fingertips towards our left ear. We're going to take a dynamic twist here. So hold strong into that center, where we're going to turn our face towards the left and the sternum towards the left. Inhale, elbow up towards the sky. Exhale, elbow towards the right hand. And continue a few repetitions here. The joy of repetition is sort of just sending that communication to the spine. You can just loosen up a few of those little tiny muscles along the way. And then loosening up the nerves too. Come on down with the left hand, find your frame, and then we'll lift that right arm, elbow bent, right fingertips to right ear, and we'll open up to the right. Inhale and exhale. So imagine the breath as this line up and down the spine, that we're just curling around it and wrapping ourselves around it. One more time. Find the framework, and then we're going to switch it up to a side sit before we go on up and do some wider stance on our feet. Let's take ourselves to the blanket again. Find the sits bones, fold the left knee in front of you and the right knee to the side or out to the straightened position if that's more comfortable for your knee. But find evenness between the sits bones. Take the fist to the floor and lift on up through the sits bones, and then sit down and find the lower sits bone and place a blanket under it if you need to on that side. So we're just going to take a luxurious side bend here. This is a modified pose that we sometimes do in gate pose, where we're kneeling upward and over to the side. This is a nice modified one that'll give us that same luxury of the side stretch. Take the fingertips to the side, inhale, and exhale, drawing into our center line. And on your next inhale, we'll walk the left hand out to the side, take the palm down, and find that sense of grounding through that left palm. As the left ear comes towards the left shoulder, we're taking the right hand and grounding the right thigh. So press the right thigh into the floor, feel the hip, find its anchor. Great. And then on your next inhale, the right arm comes up to right ear. We're just going to reach from the right hip and that anchor on up the right side. Take the right palm and let's face it to the back of your room so you can feel the rotation traveling up the arm to the shoulder. And then let's wave on out to each other here as we come to the other side. Our left arm rises up towards the sky, right hand comes down. And then let's flip it over again. As we notice those anchored hips, keeping us rooted. Oh, lovely. Come on up to this front and we'll do a twist here, walking ourselves in a sacred circle around us with the fingertips, and then over to the left. And balancing things out, let's take it to the right. Lovely. Come on back to your center line, and we're going to inhale and exhale to the strength of that center as we zip up into an imaginary wetsuit. So we're just really fortifying. From that strong place, we're going to switch to the other side. So grab the legs and switch it up so your right knee is folded in front of you and your left knee to the side or out straight. Great. And now this will take a whole other balancing as we take the fist down, press in, lift up through the sits bones and place them down. Find the lower one and get that little lift through our props. Sweet. Inhale, exhale. Find that beautiful balance. Fingertips to the side of you. And then we're going to take our right fingertips, walk out to the right, palm comes down to the floor, anchor through your left hip. Pressing down on your left thigh, feel, there you go. Maybe this one takes a little extra anchor, maybe not. Right ear toward right shoulder. And then lift your left arm up, sweep the sky as we take the left arm to left ear. Feel that beautiful arc. Now we're going to switch it to the other side, left hand down, sweeping on up the right arm to the sky. And then sweep it over again. Hips, side bodies. So thankful for this expansion. Ah, beautiful. Come on back up. Look to the right and the left, just feeling that freedom. All right, let's take ourselves to a brief tabletop. We're going to grab that block so we can find a center between the thighs here. Press the block between the thighs at whatever width keeps you in hip width position. From here, let's take a knee plank, walking the hands out so you can squeeze the block and just notice that helps you keep that long spine and long line through the center. Walk the hands slightly back again. Inhale, exhale, and then curl the toes under. We're going to come on up to a downward dog, squeezing the block. Walk the hands out. You're going to stay in tiptoes. Feel free to bend the knees as you bring the ribs to the thighs. And first priority is to lengthen the spine. Feel the cascade of energy down the spine as you come into this diagonal. So we're enlivening the spine, oxygenating the brain here, rolling the shoulders away from the ears, and squeezing that block as you bring the heels towards the floor. No forcing the heels down if they don't want to go. Just kind of notice your opening of the hamstrings there. Phew, do I notice my hamstrings? Walk the hands to the feet, keeping the knees bent. Squeeze the block. Allow the head to take a little break here as we just hang it down. Hold the palms on the floor. So we've got our feet and our hands, our quadruped feeling here as we hang the head down. And look at the world upside down, shaking the head yes and no. And noticing we've got traction. If you ever want traction in your neck, that's just like pretty easy peasy. Use your head as that weight. Bring the fingertips to the floor, spider hands. Hold them back towards the heels and come up into a flat back, sitting back into an imaginary chair. Inhale, fill the back body with breath. So the back of our lungs get that attention. Exhale to the hands to the thighs and sitting, keeping the hands on the thighs. Let's curl up into a chair pose, squeezing the block. Yes, and let's take those low ribs and notice we can tuck them towards the back body. Really draw that light up from the base of the pelvis and fortify into that imaginary wetsuit. And then squeeze the block. Slowly, slowly come on up, squeezing that block. Take the hands to the hips as you get towards our mountain pose. We're hip width apart here, and we're going to just give a nice forward bend, very slight forward bend as we squeeze the block. Holding the hands at the hips, we're going to hinge at the hips, just leaning forward slightly, and then coming back up to vertical. Inhale in the vertical, exhale, lean forward, rocking the spine. As we come up to vertical this time, take the hands to the base of the spine, fingertips pointing forward, palms at the base of your spine, pointing downward. We're going to lift the heart eyes up and then rock it forward again. Hands come back to the hips. We just rock forward. And then back on up. Hands to the base of the spine. Nice loving hands at our lumbar spine. Elbows behind us, look up. And then hands to hips, hinge forward. So we're changing a little bit of the position of our pelvis by squeezing the block. Nice support system there. And then one more, hinging forward, that rocking. And then back up to the nice tall spine. And how the arms up to the sky. This time, take a wingspan forward as you hinge. And then take the hands behind you, clasp them together, fingers together, and reach back with your arms as you come up to vertical. This time, as we look up with the heart eyes, our hands are clasped behind us and away from the body. Inhale here, expansion, exhale back to mountain pose. Arms at your side, nice and strong here, pointing the tailbone towards the heels. Inhale, exhale, draw that light up right about where that block is. Bring it into the center. Great. Lovely. We can remove that block now. As we take that over to the floor, just keep the knees bent there as you bend down. We're going to come out to our archer position. So we're going to take our legs out wide, hands on the hips. So as we change the orientation of the hips, take the right foot out to the side, and keeping your hands on the hips, noticing that orientation as we bend the right knee towards the middle two toes. Feel free to gaze over there and make sure they're aligned. Front heel, back arch. So we're going to go into a proud warrior quite flowingly here as we take it to an archer. So we're going to reach those arms out to wingspan, gaze over our right fingertips, and immediately bend the left elbow and bring that left hand towards the right. Probably not going to reach completely to the right, but we feel the rotation of our spine, and then pull back on an imaginary bow Imagining just taking that arrow, will go wherever you want it to go. And then we practice letting go as we look behind us and straighten out that left arm. Leave it behind. And then slide across, using your gaze here as part of this pose, following the eyes. The eyes follow the movement. And the breath as we exhale, remembering the center line. Meditative with our breath. And back. One more time, holding strong into our center with those feet drawing towards each other. We're going to drop that left hand to the left thigh, right palm up to the sky. Draw a rainbow on up and feel that right side body lifting and stretching from the right hip to the right fingers. Soft through the neck here. And then as we come back, we're going to come back to Proud Warrior and immediately come down with our right hand at the right thigh and the left arm up to the sky. Beautiful. And then sweep on back up, stay strong through our Proud Warrior, back to gazing over the right fingertips, and then immediately look forward and straighten your right leg. And then we're going to come to our parallel feet and come in a little bit, heel toe yourself in as we take our right toes over to the right and keeping that hips forward at the hip forward position. We're just going to keep that angle of our right toes into Proud Warrior and just tiptoe the right foot towards the left toes towards the right, keeping the hips even. Bring your gaze forward. So you just feel this tilt. This is not the half moon pose into full position here. We're just kind of leaning into it. And maybe you let go of the left toes a little bit. Holding onto those hips, nice and steady. And staying strong on that right side. And then come on back. With that foot on the floor, find that ground. Nice job with that balance. Coming back to center. Let's take our weight into the left side as we take just a side stretch here. Take the right foot behind you, right arm up to the sky. Grab that right wrist with your left hand and keeping that front knee bent. Woo, nice arc from our right foot on up to the right hand. And then sweep on out back to our parallel feet. And then we'll take the left toes over to the other side. Come up to those Proud Warrior feet and we'll bend the left knee. Dropping down. And then arms out to wingspan. We're going to look over the left fingertips and immediately right arm bends as we take that right arm towards left hand, right hand towards left hand, and then draw the bow and arrow back, keeping the gaze nice and steady towards our intentions. Whatever's behind us, we can now let it go, reaching the right hand back, let it go. A few more rotations here, back and forth, as you can feel the axis point of your neck and the eyes. Back and forth. Beautiful. One more time. And then we're going to drop the right hand, gaze to the left, and lift it on up to Peaceful Warrior, reaching from the left hip to the left fingertips. Exhale this towards our side bend, left elbow to left thigh, reaching the right arm up. Oh, so much lengthening on the sides here. Feels good today. Exhale. And then sweep that back up to Proud Warrior. And then straighten the left leg. Feet parallel, hands to hips. Come in a little bit. And then take your left toes over towards the left. Hips are facing forward. Bend the left knee. And we're going to just come into a little bit of a balance, tiptoeing the right side. And then lifting the right foot off the floor. This is our moving towards a half moon pose. And then bend that left knee. Come on back to center. And then we'll take the weight over to the right foot and slide it behind the left. Start the left behind the right. Lift the left arm up and take a hold of that wrist with your right hand and lean on over. Exhale. Arc from our left foot to the left fingertips. And then back on into the center. Take the toes out to the a little turned out, and the knees are going to follow. Hands on hips, goddess pose. Exhale. Strong center line as we move downward. Beautiful. And let's take the arms up to cactus. Inhale. Exhale, lion's breath. Another lion's breath. Inhale. As you exhale, come on back up, hands to hips, and bring those toes forward. As we bring those toes into mountain pose, let's take a walk to the other side of the mat. And we're going to come into chair pose here. If you want to grab a block, let's take that nice steady block between the thighs. Mountain position, inhale. Exhale, find that those muscles engage as we keep strong through our ab, especially those front abdominals, that transverse as we hinge at the hip and come back into a chair pose here, hands at the heart in Anjali Mudra. Yes. Staying strong. Nice. Find steadiness here. And then dive down, keeping the knees bent. We're going to take the hands down to the floor, walk out to a down dog, squeeze in that block. Oh, lengthen that spine and those hamstrings. And then bring the knees down to the mat. Remove the block. And from here, you're just going to come down and ease the spine down. We're going to end up face down on the mat. And just, you can snake the spine down, or you can come down through a mini little push-up on the knee plank with the elbows to the ribs. Bring the forehead down, bring the arms next to the ears, and reach into a long body position here with the tops of the feet on the mat. Press them on the mat. And then take the hands next to the shoulders. 3 baby cobras here, please. Inhale. Up and down. They can be real tiny little baby cobras if you want. Lovely. Bring the forehead down. And we'll roll onto our back. Oh, finding the earth beneath us again. Ah, so nice. And from here, let's grab that strap and take a little therapy to those. Lengthen our hamstrings. Inhale the right knee towards you. Take that strap around the right foot. And let's send it skyward. Ah, just holding here as you straighten the right leg and your comfortable angle. Just noticing the sensations. Spend 2 more breaths here so we can give that all those connections time to center and balance. Beautiful. See if you want to straighten out your left leg, but if not, that's fine. But if you do, keep that leg nice, to keep the foot nice and flexed and active. And then we're going to take that right leg across towards the left hip. Inhale and exhale. Feel even as you exhale and come into that center line. You notice that increases your engagement, muscular engagement, sensations along that back of the leg. And then let's take this tour out to the side on the right. And as you press into that strap and exhale right into that center line, keep it all connected. Nice. And then sweep it across town, up towards the sky. Rest here again. And if you straighten your left leg, we'll take the left foot to the floor before we go on over to the other side, pressing through your left foot. Let's bring this into the left side. The right foot comes down to the floor. Left hand grabs that strap. We bend the left knee. And the right hand is at our heart. Inhale the right elbow to the sky and open up into a twist. Since we're here, we'll get a twist in here. Gazing up. Today, we'll be gazing up at some rainy clouds. Take the left elbow to the floor and lift on up. Maybe find a little more upper spine twist. We'll be walking more easily after this. Sweep those right hands up to the right fingertips up to the sky, back to the strap. And we'll find our way back on up. Oof. And we're going to bend the right knee towards the chest, release the strap, and right away, we're going to take our right ankle to the left thigh. And rock side to side. Just cradle the hips. And if you want to grab that left thigh, we can squeeze, hug in, keeping our left foot flexed. Great. Take your left foot down. Unwind. Let's lengthen both legs just to feel how different we feel right and left. Again, taking that observation, right, left, and then bend the knees. Grab the strap. And we'll take the reins around the left foot. And left foot to the sky. Find your straight leg here. Dropping into that hip. Just being with the sensation right now. It's all good. Okay, we're going to take maybe our right leg long or not. Keep it bent. Take the left heel towards the right hip. Oof. And let's continue this tour over towards the left, holding onto the strap. Over to the left side. Make sure that right hip stays nice and rooted as the left leg reaches out, pressing into that strap. Exhaling, still drawing from that center of the pelvis upward towards the crown of the head. Body awareness. Come on back with that left foot on up to the sky. Bend the right knee, right foot to the floor. And we're going to send ourselves onto the other side. Left foot comes down on the floor. I'll switch it up. Bend your right knee. And your left hand cradles the heart. Elbow to the sky and open up. Look on up to our skies. Back body supported by the earth. Press the right elbow to the floor. Lift up a little bit. Nice relaxed twist. And then sweep those left fingertips up towards the sky, back to the strap, and then over up onto your back. Hang out here for a moment. Stretching. Lengthening those hamstrings just feels like they always could use a little bit of love. And bend the left knee, bring that left ankle to the right thigh and release that strap. And just rock it out here, loving on that left hip. And you can hang out here again or just grab the right thigh towards you. Notice as we stretch the hips, maybe we loosen the jaw too. And right foot down to the floor. Unwind. Take the knees together, the feet wide apart. We're just gonna, right here in the middle, windshield wiper the legs, the knees down the shins. We'll do our crazy legs, thumbs to elbows, elbows to the side. Away from the knees and the head, away from the elbows. And let's not forget the eyes, they're following the elbows. And then come on back to stillness here. Take the knees together. And just because I love that whole archer theme, we're going to roll onto our right side for our prep for a twist. So those right and those thighs right angle to the body. We're going to draw the left fingertips across the right arm to the heart, drawing back on a bow, imaginary bow and arrow, and then opening up to a twist, and then coming back across the heart. So you can repeat this. Reach and pull back. Kind of noticing, again, the repetition on that upper spine, increasing that sense of fluidity and flexibility. Come back, left hand on top of right, keeping the knees together. We're going to switch it to the other side. Right hand on top of left. Draw back the right hand to the heart, elbow to the sky as we open up. Into a twist, and then across again. Pull back that imaginary bow and arrow, and then let go of the energy through the right fingertips. Finding and celebrating your breath. And then rolling onto your back. Straightening out the legs, pulling the fists to the side of the mat. We're going to pull down towards the heels and just feel the skin of the back lengthen on the mat. And then release the hands, palms up towards the sky. We can close the eyes. And just to bring this entire practice into the body, let's breathe into a body scan. Close the eyes, follow as I name off the body scan, just follow along with your mind's eye. Beginning with the toes. Breathe into the toes, top of the feet, and the bottom of the feet. The ankles, the right shin and the left shin. The right calf and the left calf. Left knee, right knee. And the left thigh and the right thigh. Right hip and left hip. The pelvis. The organs. The right ribs and the left ribs. The spine. The right arm. The right hand. And the right fingers. The left hand. Left arm. Left fingers. The heart and the lungs. The shoulders. The neck. The right ear, the left ear. The skull. And the face. The right cheek and the left cheek. The left eye, the left right eye, left eyebrow, right eyebrow. And the forehead, scalp, and the crown of the head. Begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Inhale, 5 counts. Exhale, 5 counts. Bending the elbows and the knees. Easing yourself onto your right side. Come on up to a seated position. Concluding this lovely practice with a prayer position at the heart. Thank you so very much for joining me in this practice today. Namaste.